Sound of Chronics in your ear this morning. It is Tuesday morning. Good morning to you wherever you are. It's August 5 already. Fun fact, today is International Traffic Light Day. Guess what? Jamaica's first traffic lights were designed and built by Jamaican inventor Hedley Jones back in 1952. Jones, along with his cousin, demonstrated the prototype at the intersection of King and North Streets and later at Jeffrey Place and Orange Street. And these were not imported, but rather they were Jamaican creations. Imagine that. So much work done for us. We better be observing the traffic lights at least. That's the least we can do. Well, once again, thanks for joining us here on Sunrise. With all the parties and road trips being planned for the weekend ahead, it's easy for us to forget the risks that come with this holiday season. This morning, we're joined by the team from JCF's Highway Patrol, acting head of the traffic department, DSP Phillip Smith, traffic analyst, Sgt Robert Reid, head of technical enforcement unit Island-wide, Sgt Tyrone Walker, and the operations lead, Sgt Desmore Dawkins, to talk about real dangers that we are seeing on our roads and what the police are doing to help keep us safe. Gentlemen, welcome.
Good morning.
Deputy Sue, let's begin with kind of the macro picture, because it was recently that I was hearing and seeing numbers that suggested that we were in the decline, that there were fewer crashes and fatalities on the road. And then it feels like within a few weeks, maybe months, that we've seen now we're in the positive. What's the story?
Right. Morning again, CVM, Jamaica. The stats have been showing that for the months of January, February, March, April, to me, we were doing extremely well. At one point, we were at minus 19.
Wow.
For the months of June and July, I would say there was carnage on the roadway. July is a month that we'll do everything to ensure that we do not experience that month again.
Whoa, what was July like?
We actually had 40 deaths.
40 deaths in 1 month?
In 1 month. And when you're looking at the murder reduction, and the road traffic fatalities are actually challenging the murders that are being committed in our island, it means that we must do something to prevent what is happening. The High Command is totally aware of what is happening, and even though the responsibilities in terms of the road traffic deaths are merely the responsibility of the traffic departments, I am certain that measures have been put in place to ensure that the divisional commanders and the operations officers throughout the island, they are aware and they will assist in ensuring that the roadway itself, it is monitored, because we have to put things to mitigate what is happening.
Absolutely.
So we will have to increase the presence of the roadways, of the police on the roadways. We have some areas that stands out.
I was going to ask Sgt Reid,
Right.
because as an analyst, you see the patterns that many of us don't see. Yeah. When we say 40, is it concentrated in particular places? What are some of the parishes or divisions that we are seeing the problems in 2025?
Right. So there are some divisions that are consistent with high numbers of fatal collisions and deaths. So for this year, St. James is leading.
St. James?
Yes, St. James. And then we have Clarendon with 22 deaths each. Then Westmoreland. Normally Westmoreland is at the top.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
I would expect.
the high numbers of motorcycle collisions. But this year we're seeing St. James taking the lead in that regard.
So what are some of the things that we are seeing in terms of, so is it that work that has been done in Westmoreland to reduce motorcycle crashes is working, or is it that there's just been a significant increase in St. James?
Right. Yes, there's been significant work in Westmoreland to include education. yes, with the motorcyclists, the importance of wearing helmets. But one of the causative factors is that we're seeing collisions with multiple fatalities. I mean, just the month of July alone, 6 collisions resulted in 17 deaths.
Wow. 6 producing 17.
6 collisions resulted in 17 deaths. So it's the overloading of the vehicles, it's the excessive speeding, right? With no regard to the condition of the roadway. It's failing to keep to the near side of the roadway. And of course, we have pedestrians also who are contributing to the high numbers.
All right. My next question would be, are we seeing, all right, let me phrase it this way. People have a way of blaming the taximen. Oh, the dirty taximan them. Oh, the dirty busman them. And it's almost a way of making them feel better about their behavior.
Yes.
Is it that we see an overrepresentation of public passenger vehicles, or is it ordinary Joe private vehicle?
I'm so happy you asked that question. Yes, it's the ordinary person, the private motor vehicle driver that we're seeing an increase, yes? And there's also an increase in private motor car passengers. As I said, one collision will lead to multiple deaths. I mean, along the South Marsh Main Road, it was like 1 collision leading to 5 deaths. But interestingly enough, the commercial vehicle drivers are far outpacing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, really?
PPV drivers in terms of contributing to fatal collisions. Our commercial motor vehicle drivers.
So this kind of sheds a different light, because people have stereotypical views of who is behind it or what is going on. So it's not, who is most likely to be dying on the road in a crash? Is it still the motorcyclists are leading, or
Yes.
is it?
All right, so it's still our motorcyclists. So far this year, 63 motorcyclists have died. However, it is far less than last year. So there is still a reduction, which we're happy for. But they are still, unfortunately, the leading category of road users who are dying. And then we have our pedestrians, right? Because pedestrians fall into a category called the vulnerable road user. They don't have any protection when they are involved in a collision. I saw a report in the World Health Organization that says if you are traveling at 50 kilometers per hour and you collide with a pedestrian, the pedestrian is 80% more likely to die, as opposed to if you're traveling at a lower speed, let's say 30%, 30 kilometers per hour, then that would just be 10%. So our pedestrians, our pillion passengers, our motorcyclists are all vulnerable road users.
I really am now curious as to maybe some of the factors that are contributing, the speeding, the being inebriated. At this time, I think, Kadeen Wilkinson, Mrs. Wilkinson, what do you have in your hand?
You're speeding, sir. Pull over, pull over, pull over. You're going above the speed limit, sir. On this side, please, pull over. Thank you. Over, thank you. So, yeah, I picked you up, Dennis.
Yeah.
You're going 110 in an 80 kilometer zone. Please pull over. Can I see your documents, please? Do you have anything to declare in the vehicle, sir? Please put your hands on the steering wheel and don't move, okay? Thank you. All right, yes. So from breathalyzers to speed guns, and you know, we see them all the time, and spot checks and speed checks. The Jamaica Constabulary Force's Highway Patrol are playing their part in keeping our roadways safe. I know to some people it may be but guess what, guys? It's better to be safe than to be dead. And so we have to all be responsible, because just like the officers were saying earlier, road crashes collisions can cause multiple deaths, which means to me that there are some people who are dying innocently because you would not necessarily have collided, but somebody is colliding into you. And I have 2 officers here with me, Officer Walker and Officer Dawkins. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Welcome to Sunrise. So I am holding in my hand now, sir, a
speed detector device.
Speeding detector device.
Yes.
Now, some people, officer, I gotta tell you, officer, is not my speed that. It was Dennis in front of me. It wasn't me, officer. how do you detect with the speed of the particular car? Because a lot of motorists always say, it's not me, officer, it's a car in front of me.
All right, this instrument that you have in your hand is the latest version
Okay.
of speed detector that exists. And I say internationally. All right, it uses a laser beam.
Okay.
Yes, a straight laser beam. So what happens is that the officer will look through the scope here,
Yes.
and there's a cursor in the scope that he basically places on the particular vehicle. Instantly, he will actually get a reading for that vehicle.
Yes.
The thing that we focus on when we use this device is that it records everything.
Okay.
Yes, it has a SD card to the side here
Yes.
that records everything that transpires.
Okay.
So the situation is that from the moment it hits that vehicle, and we set a record inside the instrument, whereas if the vehicle is above the speed limit, then it instantly starts to video that vehicle.
Oh, I see.
So it videos the vehicle coming towards the officer. The officer, upon completion of the video footage, he has the capability of playing back everything to the motorist.
Right.
If the motorist so requests to see what took place. So he shows the video. He can actually show a still image of the vehicle. He can actually zoom into the license plate of the vehicle. The time and the date is also displayed on the screen.
All right, officer. So I just did my layman civilian demonstration, but can you show us, please, how it actually works?
All right, so prior to him going to actually carry out his enforcement duty, there's a menu on the screen that he needs to fill out.
Yes.
In terms of his name, the location where he's working, and the speed limit
That's
for
the
that.
officer.
Yes.
Yes.
The speed limit for that zone.
Okay.
So he input those data inside the instrument.
Okay.
All right. When the instrument now is basically ready, what he does in terms of his stance
Yes.
is that he clutches this area here into his arm.
Oh, so I was holding it right.
Yeah, clutch it into his arm for
Yeah.
stability, stabilize it. All right, because it can't be that easy using the instrument and the instrument is shaking.
Right.
No, it won't get a reading from that. So it stabilizes the device. He looks through the scope like this, and he places the beam on whatever vehicle he's actually targeting. So it's a situation where he can actually get a reading for any vehicle, no matter the position.
Very well. From about how far?
3/4 miles.
Oh, wow.
Which is 1,200 meters in distance.
So when you say pull over, you don't stop a long time. I understand.
Yes, and just waiting.
Wow. So drive within the speed limit, guys, all right?
Yes.
But let me just ask Officer Dawkins, right?
Yes.
One of the things that is of grave concern is that, especially at this time, you know, Independence Weekend, Emancipendence Weekend, the party goers and the drinking, the drunk driving, and that in and of itself is a problem. I know that we have the breathalyzer machine that is in existence in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. How widely used is it, and how is that, or using the breathalyzer test, or machine rather, helping to cut down on the carnage on the road?
Well, as a response to the challenges that we're having is that we have increased breath testing. Recently, we have had an influx of new devices.
Okay.
And these devices are spread out across the entire island.
Wow.
So areas in which parties are being kept where we think that persons are more likely to consume alcohol or even other drugs, then we'll set up our checkpoints in and around those places where we can detect persons who might have consumed, prevent them from driving, so we can prevent a collision that may result in
Death.
fatalities.
Yeah.
Right. So the 6th schedule of the Road Traffic Act makes provisions for us to do testing. So we have 3 types of tests that we do. We have the breath analysis, we have the laboratory test, and we have the breathalyzer one.
Yes.
Right. So you are most likely going to encounter breath test.
Breathalyzer
first,
test, yes.
Right? So on the road, we do a breath test, which is basically a screening. If you are over the prescribed limit, which is 0.35 micrograms per every 100 milliliters of breath, then we move it to the intoxilizer 8,000, where we'll do a breath analysis.
Okay.
Right? That result that we get from that breath analysis test, then we use that as evidential in court when we lay a charge. So you make reference to us persons drunk driving.
Yes.
We don't charge for drunk driving. And we don't determine that a person was drunk, or
yes,
not drunk.
yes.
We determine that a person had excess alcohol on their
Right,
breath.
right.
So here we have on display an intoxilizer
Okay.
800 device. So this is our screening device that we use on the road.
Very well.
Right? So we have a power on.
Right.
We get it on. So what we'll do first, we'll have persons tested using.
How safe is that, officer? Because I can imagine some people saying, well, officer, me don't want next thing you go use it upon Miss Kitty, I use it upon Dennis, or the same thing I use upon me.
Right.
How do I know that it's clean
So
and
it
ready and
it
safe?
is, and it's hygienic in the point that you don't put your mouth on it,
Oh, I see.
right? We keep it at a distance, allow you to give us a steady sample of breath, and then we get a reading on the screen whether you have passed or failed.
So you kind of just blow on it?
No, you blow into
Or into it,
into
okay.
the cup.
You're
with
going
a
to pick
steady
up
breath.
lettuce on mine this morning. Cabbage.
Right, good. So
Yes.
once we get a reading of pass or fail, so if it says fail, then we go deeper into the testing because we
Very
want to
well.
know how much alcohol you may have in your
Right.
system. So we'll remove the cup and we'll give you a straw that is sealed.
Oh, it's sealed very
And
well.
we allow you to check to ensure that it is sealed, properly
Okay.
sealed, right?
Yes.
And in most cases, we'll ask you
Yes.
to open and then
Okay.
we'll remove and attach.
Open. Then now catch me upon this, my love. Pineapple juice in my system. eh.
Right? So once
Yes.
it's done, then we'll slide it in,
Okay.
right?
I can
And we'll
just hold
slide
it, yes. Right.
And then now, because when we're putting it in,
Yes.
the plastic
Because it's still
will
on it.
remain
Understand.
on this portion.
Very
And this
well.
portion will be going into
Your mouth.
your mouth.
Very well.
And then you'll blow into, and once you blow into, then we'll get the reading as to how much alcohol is on your breath. And once we get over 0.35 or 0.35 or more, then definitely we are moving now to possibly arrest.
Absolutely, because you cannot then now drive the vehicle.
No.
And officer, I absolutely love this because we're talking about road fatalities, but there are also other things that can happen. People are, lose their limbs. People's lives are forever changed. And when, Officer DSP Smith was talking about, just the number of persons dying, these are family members. This is a brother, this is a husband, a wife, a child. And so sometimes when we see the numbers and we look at the empirical data, we just see numbers, but these are actual lives and actual people. And so I am imploring our drivers, let us all do better because the police, as it is, can only do so much and no more. The onus is also on us as responsible citizens and responsible drivers to do the right thing. Me know everybody think them a done driver, everybody think them can drive until something bad happens, right? So I'm very happy to know that we have new devices in the force, and so the accuracy, right, will definitely be something that it's going to be hard to dispute because,
Transparency.
and transparency as well, so you know exactly what is happening on the road. Uncle Dennis, do you have any other questions?
I do. So it's now August 5. There's, again, people are planning the parties that they're going to be going to for the rest of the week. And people are, focused on having a good time. DSP, what advice would you give to persons, whether it be motorcyclists, whether it be high-end vehicle driver, because I gather that a lot of those are represented in the data. What advice would you give for persons for this week and just for the rest of the year?
I would ask persons to be responsible in their actions. Think about whatever you're doing. If you have somewhere to go, leave early, right? So if even you have a mishap, a puncture tire, anything at all, you will have sufficient time to remedy that situation and actually go to your event. Also, our egos. We need to understand that let that alter ego take over. Because somebody, the road rage, somebody accidentally does something and you just believe that you should pay back that person for that simple act. We're also looking at the situation where the drinking Right? We must be responsible when we go to these parties. Have a designated driver.
Me can't hold my liquor, man.
Right? But nobody knows. You need somebody like me who actually does not consume alcohol any at all. Right? And that's the safest way when it comes down to the alcohol consumption. We're looking also at just being out there, trying to save your life. Remember, the JCF is about protecting lives and property, right? You should also think about protecting your life and the property and saving the lives of other persons. So going forward, we're just asking persons, slow down, right? Remember the rules of the road, the laws of the country, and do our best to adhere to those.
All right, thank you very much, Deputy Superintendent Phillip Smith, Sgt Robert Reid, Sgt Tyrone Walker, and Sgt Desmore Dawkins for joining us this morning. There's a lot more in store when Sunrise returns, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Said I am a legend that you never heard of before. I said I am a lion, but you never heard me roar. I am a hero that nobody celebrates.